Welcome to the Pulse Check podcast, Rebecca Lim. Great to have you on board.
Thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you for coming over, Rebecca, founding partner of AutoML and an expert into artificial intelligence for investment. So really keen to talk about the topic. But before that, what is something that defines you, that makes you, Rebecca?
First of all, let me apologize for my very cracky voice today. So I love running. I'm a runner. What I love about running is that it doesn't pay off today. You need to be very consistent. Every training counts. So you need to be consistent, persistent, and do what you think is correct. And over a long term, it will pay off and the satisfaction comes. So it's a little bit like investment. It's not about now, but you need to be consistent in terms of your preparation, your mentality. It's not about today being high or low, but overall, if you have the correct direction, you'll get there.
That's a very nice segue into the topic. And I love running too, which is probably a topic we could talk for hours as well. But you're absolutely right. Investment is all about consistency over a long period of time. And the same with running. If you want to achieve a goal like running a marathon, it's not just a few weeks of training. It's a long time. So let me now go into the topic of today, starting with how does artificial intelligence, machine learning in particular, transform investments? And I mean, we've heard about this now a lot the past 18 months with ChatGPT being launched, but do you see impact in investments? And if yes, what?
So AI has got a phenomenal changes in the last 2-3 years. Before that, it was not onto everybody's phone, personal laptops, that they will be able to access such powerful technology. The mentality completely changes. And in the last few years, it was about research. Now we are at a phase that these are all the very useful and helpful application that helps our daily lives. So back into investment. For one person, you can read 2 newspaper a day. Maybe that's already quite a lot. But with a machine processing data in split of a seconds, you can process a lot of different news, different data, and the difference is multiples. So what is really important is that if an investment manager managed to get a lot of information processed from AI, from ChatGPT even, from different AI algorithms, different models, it will be so beneficial to them. So one of the things is machine learning or AI is very good at finding nonlinear relationships. So if we look at a spreadsheet that we will be able to pick out some details, machine can pick out much more than that, especially those that are not so obvious. This is quite impactful in the investment world because people now accept that this is one of the things and the big direction that the market is going towards.
So how can it then particularly help in making improvements in investment decisions?
So I've been in the financial industry for 10 plus years now. One of the observations that I have is there are more and more products. There are more specific products specialized in different areas, and there are too many choices, so many choices for investors to choose from. And that may make them lose the big picture and the overall direction. So what machine learning is helping them is to draw them back into having a very systematic, data-driven approach. Our latest partnership with Manulife enables all our their MPF members to be able to use the technology, to be able to focus back into the asset allocation, the long-term direction, the big picture. This is a really good thing for us because this helps us to demonstrate our mission to be able to democratize this kind of very high-end, very specific technology to the mass.
Yeah, that's a topic I would love to dig a bit deeper because, I mean, of course, if the ultra high net worth individuals, they have access to all the markets. They have banks that advise them with, of course, all the tools and the platforms. But when we talk about the mass affluent, so how does it exactly benefit the broader mass in terms of making the right decisions in terms of investments?
With regards to the mass, as I said, there's a lot of information out there and there's a lot of choices. They may not be able to put so much time into understanding the market. And one of the really, really big thing is emotional biases. So emotional biases does not allow them to make very sensible choices. For example, overconfidence in some of the choices that they make. They may be making unnecessary transactions, buying and selling too much, and taking unnecessary risk. And one of the really, really common thing is the herd bias. So everybody's going on the same product, same investment product, and when the market is selling off, is a panic selling. So those are irrational decisions that a human must have in order for them to make these kind of investment choices. And those are the things that we think that giving them a systematic AI approach is really important. That takes away all the emotional biases and all the irrational decisions and allow them to make systematic choices.
So can you elaborate a bit on the partnership with Manulife? And the reason why it's interesting is, again, as the MPF scheme, which is in Hong Kong, the retirement scheme, and of course, like also in the US and other places, of course, people, when they put their money into a retirement scheme, they want to see it growing. And normally you only have the basic mutual funds available for your retirement scheme. So what exactly do you now enable with AutoML for the MPF scheme?
So MPF is even a longer game. It is about 10, 20 years of investment horizon. And that kind of investment horizon focus a lot on the overall direction, your long-term direction. You've got a lot of time to make the investment into your strategy. So that's why it's even more important to have the big picture correct. What we are doing with our Manulife is providing the member an asset allocation suggestion. If they have got the overall asset allocation right, they have got 80% of the things corrected already. So why do I say that? Because different assets have got different nature and they have got different correlation with the market. So if they are too specific on each product that they think will perform, they will lose the big picture of what is going to be a risk management strategy for their long-term investment portfolio.
And does the end client actually really feel and understand that there are machine learning algorithms improving the asset allocation, rebalancing? What's where?
That is a very interesting question, because one of the things that people see AI is, people call it black box. We shouldn't call that. It lacks the explainability. Before we are talking about rule base, so we code some rules inside, if then else. But now machine learning is you feed in a lot of data and you give it the result, and the in-between relationship will be found by the machine. So if it becomes very, very complicated, it's hard to dig out why it has given the output that it has given. But of course, there are different techniques that you can break it down and make it more explainable. But one of the things that GenAI, everybody's talking about GenAI now, generative AI, helps is it can explain in the same way to the client, to the member, to the investor, why it has created such portfolio. So this is what is so powerful about GenAI and our platform, that it doesn't give you only the result, but an explanation that comes behind.
And one thing that I, as an investor, want to see, that it's also a bit tailored towards my needs. We talked about running. I love exploring different places. So I don't want to just have the basic investments in the general markets, but maybe I want to have it tailored towards my needs, and maybe also want to avoid certain investments restrictions due to I don't want to invest into tobacco and so on. I mean, that's not new, that's happening, of course, since years, but how will AI ML help me in terms of tailoring the investment portfolio?
Of course, the machine learning and AI and whatever that doesn't involve a human understanding or analyzing something has got the advantage that it's scale. So it can offer you much more personalized investment advice, not that it's one product and it fits all. So you have got your own preference, your own constraints, what you like, what you do not like. And these can be quite easily fed into the machine to create some constraints and some kind of objective for yourself, for your investment. I think one of the really good benefit and big benefit and transformative changes that we'll see is with technology, we can get more personalized advices, more suitable for our own situations.
Yeah, that brings me exactly to the final question. But what else do we gonna see in the next years to come? What are some of the trends you believe will probably be strong in a number of years?
I like to use the analogy of iPhone. The first iPhone came out, it wasn't that popular. So after all, after a few years, everybody is not holding a previous version of the phone anymore. So the first version may not be such transformative in terms of our daily lives, but the trend is definitely there. And there are a lot of different market forces, different players, different supply, different demands out there. And definitely the trend is going there, but no one knows when that time will come.
And what is the next big thing you will see with you, Rebecca, and AutoML? Is there any big news coming up or anything you want to share or cannot share yet?
So as I was saying, the transformative and the receptive of the market has definitely changes. People were skeptical about AI a few years ago. Everybody wanted to get into AI now. We are launching 2 of our products, one being our flagship product. This is a global multi-asset portfolio, which address all the things that I mentioned, the big picture, long-term risk management, and the second product being a specific asset class into the precious metal. It is a combination of gold, silver. So these are the 2 big things that is coming along the way, which I think is very exciting. Because we are at this time of the universe horizon, that everything is stirring up and it's quite transformative.
Absolutely. And then coming back to the beginning, I think most important is, of course, we need to give it time. Consistency is what makes us good runners, but also what helps our investments with the compound interest. So definitely not being immediately shaken up by market volatility and make too fast decisions that are not backed by also good recommendation of AI ML. So thank you so much. Very insightful, Rebecca, as usual. I'm sure we could spend more hours digging into the details, but it was very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Salomon.
So with this, we will close today's podcast, Pulse Check. And you can find us, of course, on LinkedIn, YouTube, and all the other social media platforms. And that's probably also how they find you, Rebecca, on LinkedIn. So thank you once again, and see you soon.
Thank you very much.